It was so important for you to get this out. There is now a third indictment. We'll show those three indictments on the screen right now. And then I want to get into the two most important items that you declassified. You declassified these things before the election of 2020, and you also identified what specifically happened. Let's talk about John Durham's handwritten notes and what they say. This was one of the most important things that you declassified. John Brennan, sorry, listen to me. John Brennan's notes, and they were handwritten notes, and we're going to show them on the screen right now. Tell me what they said.
Yeah, so let's start at the beginning. You know, we talked about this. I talked on this show with you about many things as a member of Congress. But when I became the director of national intelligence, I said, listen, I want to see all of the intelligence about this supposed Russian collusion. And what I found was, and as you're finding out, is there was, of course, no Russian collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. But what I did see in intelligence documents, some of which I've now declassified, that there was collusion involving the Clinton campaign and Russians to create a dossier. And so what John Brennan's notes reveal is, you know, we talk about these indictments. Igor Danchenko is now the third person to be criminally indicted in connection with the Steele dossier for peddling something that was known to be false to the FBI. But what's important here is John Brennan's own notes reflect, and the other document that I declassified show that our intelligence community and our FBI knew this ahead of time, that Hillary Clinton, we had specific intelligence that Hillary Clinton was creating a plan to vilify Donald Trump, to falsely accuse him of ties to Russia. And the intelligence community and the FBI knew this. And President Obama, Vice President Biden were briefed by John Brennan and James Clapper and Jim Comey in early August of 2016. And John Solomon's earlier point was right. It all should have stopped at that point. Everything related to the Steele dossier was known to be untrue, but yet it was the predicate for moving forward with an unjust, unfair, and ultimately now everyone accepts a criminally negligent investigation against the Trump campaign. It was a crime to investigate Donald Trump because there was no probable cause, as FBI Director Christopher Wray has admitted under oath. There was no probable cause for those FISA applications because they used the Steele dossier and it was phony.
So to underline John Brennan's notes, he says there was an exchange, and it shows us that Hillary Clinton has approved a plan concerning U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump and Russia and tying him to a scandal there. From then you have the CIA telling the FBI. This is the second most important document that you declassified. And this is what's called a CIOL. This is a counterintelligence operational lead. It's the CIA telling the FBI, we have this information. Hillary has cooked up this plan against Donald Trump. You need to investigate it. Tell me more.
Yeah, so why it's unfortunately what happened there is the CIA, because it can't use our intelligence authorities under the law can't be used for domestic purposes, and then because this involved Hillary Clinton's campaign and people associated with it, a referral had to be made to the FBI. Unfortunately, as you see from that document, the referral went to disgraced FBI agent Peter Strzok, who had just weeks before receiving that referral had sent text messages promising to F Trump, to stop Trump, to make sure Trump would never become president. So as you said earlier, the person who was supposed to be investigating the fake Steele dossier before John Durham ever got involved was Peter Strzok. And instead what he did was bury that part of it as it related to Hillary Clinton, and instead took a dossier that he knew to be false, used it to get a FISA application that he knew to be illegal, and used it to perpetuate an investigation that went on for 4 years that misrepresented everything to the American people. And that's why everyone associated with the Steele dossier, with its creation, its peddling to the FBI, and its use by law enforcement authorities against the Trump campaign illegally, is in criminal jeopardy right now.
So do you think that is what John Durham is looking at? Do you think we will see potential indictments?
Well, I know that, Maria, because as you know, many of the documents that John Durham is using are documents that I gave him. So I declassified the documents that we've talked about, but I gave John Durham over 1,000 other documents that have not yet been declassified that I know include intelligence that goes specifically to this criminal activity that would be the basis for further indictments. And, again, what happened with the Steele dossier, a grand jury is saying was criminal in nature, and I expect that all of the folks that are involved with creating it and peddling it falsely would be in jeopardy. And I know that that's what John Durham is looking at. And as I talked about, this goes to the highest levels of our government in the government agencies involved.
And we have pictures of meetings in the Oval Office with President Obama and John Brennan, when we assume John Brennan told President Obama that he had this information. We're going to show those pictures right now of the Oval Office where President Obama, Joe Biden were briefed by John Brennan saying Hillary Clinton has cooked up this plan to ensnare her opponent, Donald Trump. And this was way before Inauguration Day of Donald Trump.
Of 2016.
This was in 2016. Right.
August of 2016.
But those pictures I'm saying, yeah, August of 2016, right. And these pictures, we don't know if they were August, September, or October, yeah.
Well, the briefings occurred in August of 2016, so several months before the election. And again, Peter Strzok and folks at the FBI knew that the Steele dossier and was a Hillary Clinton creation. And as the Danchenko indictment reflects, Maria, not only did Hillary Clinton commission the creation of the Steele dossier, people that worked for her served as the sources for that information. PR Executive 1, who has been identified publicly as a gentleman named Charles Dolan, worked for Bill and Hillary Clinton, served as state chairman of their campaigns, was appointed by Bill Clinton during his administration, and worked for the Russian Federation. He was a source of the information, some of the most salacious allegations against Paul Manafort and about Donald Trump and the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. So all of that was make-believe. It was bogus, and folks within the law enforcement community particularly were aware of that and yet used it illegally and peddled it for a great period of time for a political purpose, which is just not only inappropriate, but as you're finding out, criminal as well. And I expect I said a long time ago to you, Maria, I expect there to be many indictments. I haven't backed off of that, and I continue to think that there are going to be many indictments based on the intelligence that I gave to John Durham and that I have seen.
Yeah, and what happens to all of your colleagues on the left who attacked you throughout the years that you were trying to educate and inform the American people? Adam Schiff saying that there was collusion in plain sight. He saw what you saw as a congressman. He saw what Devin Nunes saw as a congressman on the Intel Committee. How did he come out and go on MSNBC and CNN and say there was collusion in plain sight? And what about Mark Warner attacking you repeatedly as you were informing the American people throughout 2018, 2019, and 2020?
Not only in that time frame as a member of Congress, but as the Director of National Intelligence, I briefed Mark Warner. I briefed Adam Schiff. I shared this information with them. And they knew that it was true. They knew that I was being truthful, but they were concerned about winning a political election. They wanted Joe Biden to win in 2020, and so that's the reason that they came out the way that they did. Look, the intelligence speaks for itself. Grand juries take the actions based on the intelligence that is and evidence that is provided to them.
Hey everyone, happy Sunday. Let's go, Brandon. I just wanted to keep everyone updated on the collapsing Russian collusion narrative. It is now obvious that higher indictment charges are going to be coming for the collusion conspiracy theorists. What you heard there on Maria Bartiromo are the experts explaining how there are going to be thousands of pages of indictments for some key figures inside the Clinton administration. It's now confirmed that Hillary Clinton is the person who colluded with Russia. In order to try and prove that Trump was colluding with Russia, which was a lie, and they admitted it to the FBI, that's now admitted, people have gone to jail now for that lie. Like, people have been arrested for the lie that Trump was colluding with Russia. They made it up. Now the next shoe to fall is going to be who at the FBI knew about this? Why did they cover it up? Why did they continue the politically charged investigation when they knew it was a fraud? That's what you just heard there in that segment. Let's hope that these come swiftly and that Americans get the justice they deserve. They stole from us time, energy of this president, the president that we put into office. They stole that from us. Let's get them.